Hey, what is up guys, it is me Red here, and today guys we'll be doing a video, and on this video I'll be showing you how to make epic thumbnails, or just the thumbnail for today, because we're not going to do multiple thumbnails. But let's just jump right into it. So we have this Photoshop document open, and what I did to do this, to custom for this, and I typed in 1280 by 720 and the pixels, and it's at pixels inch, and the resolution's at 300, and it's all, all these settings. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to unsplash.com, this link right here. This link specifically goes to the one that goes to this image that I selected by Cal Visuals. Copy the image, and we're going to paste it because it's going to be the same quality. The quality won't really be compressed or anything like that. So we're going to do that, and we're going to resize it. And so now what we have here is this background. And so as you can see, it looks really cool. I really like it. I think we can change a few things though. So we can go to image, and we can go to brightness and contrast, or down the brightness just to make the clouds more prominent. So we can go to contrast, and then we can just lower down the contrast, because I kind of want to see the foreground a little bit. So the contrast is at -50 and the brightness is at -78. So we're going to press OK, and now what we're going to do is we're going to change the hue and saturation of this. So in order to do that, we're going to have a shortcut, Control U, which goes to the hue and saturation dialog box. So Control U, and now that should be, again as I said, hue and saturation box. So now we're going to change the color of this, because I kind of want it into a direction of red. So it's going to be a red color scheme. So we're going to go to colorize, check that, and as you can see, it's red. So what I did to do this is I set the hue is at 0 because it's going all the way to red. The saturation is at 25, and the lightness is at 0. You can change this whatever you want, but this is my personal preference. I might even change the saturation a little bit, to 40. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to open File, and we're going to go to Open, and we're going to open the pack that I have installed, that I actually use for basically every thumbnail that I have, and it's called the SubExPack PS. I'll leave it in the description below so you guys can check it out. It'll be a media file link, I am pretty sure. Open it, and so as you can see, it opens to a new document. We're going to use some stocks so we can add some effects to this. So we're just going to scroll down. I think this one already looks really cool. It's really cool. We can drag this to here. So I'm gonna put this to I think overlay looks pretty cool, so I'm just gonna change it like that. Size it so here. And so now what you want to do is we're going to lower down the opacity of this, because it's a bit too much, and I want to see the actual background. So I'm just gonna move this again over here. I think this looks nice, moving it right there. So we're gonna use our eraser tool, because as you can see, there's a bunch of boxes, freaking these dumbass boxes right here. And so we're going to erase this. So right here, erase it, and this is at a 0 hardness, so it's a soft brush. And we're gonna go back to mouse tool, or movement tool, sorry. It's kind of like a really cool effect, and we're just gonna keep on adding these these really cool effects to it. So I think another one would really be a really cool one, like this one. It's kind of like a shockwave thing. So we're gonna add that again to here, and we can change the color of it once again by going to hue and saturation. So we can do Control U to do the shortcut for that, instead of going to all that stuff, So we're gonna go to colorize, and we're going to increase the saturation to 100. And we're going to take the lightness to -53. The blending mode of screen. So basically screen, it eliminates all the black. Again, we're going to add a bunch of other stocks. And yeah, so right now I think the one that's really really that I enjoy adding a lot is the one right here. And yeah, it looks really cool. It's kind of like this straight lining, and it looks really modern and sleek. You can go to the blending options and change it to I think color dodge looks really cool. I think I might change it to color dodge, and we can lower down this opacity again. And yeah, alright, so as you can see, it's blue, and I don't really want that because I kind of want it all red. So again, we're going to change the hue and saturation. This is going to be basically repeated for the whole situation of adding stocks, because we wanted the same color scheme. So I'm just going to keep on doing that. Control U again, and we're going to go to colorize, check colorize, and it should be red already. Increase the saturation to like I think 52 looks good, and we're gonna change the lightness to like negative 39. Alright, negative 39 is the lightness, and it's at plus 52 for the saturation and 0 for hue. I'm gonna group these layers on the backing PS, so this one right here, the last layer that we had, and then the first layer. So we're going to click on this, and we're going to hold shift, and when we do that, we're going to be clicking on this last layer in order to select everything. We go to layer 3, and now as you can see, everything's selected. So once again, we did shift and we held that until we clicked on the last layer, and that should select everything. And then when we do that, we can let go of shift and we can do Control G, group it, so it's grouped. And so yeah, alright, so now we can change the title for this to be background. So now as you can see, this is very organized now. So now we're going to create a new text layer, and it should be like how to, actually no, we might do this to thumbnail first. So this one, we're just going to name it thumbnail. I might put this to brush strike. You can't really see it because it's black, so we can change the color of it by going to the text layer again and highlighting this. And then as you can see, this one's already selected, this foreground color right here in the middle. So we can just do that. So right here, alright, so as you can see, the smart guidelines are here to help us to add another text layer to make kind of like subtext. So this one is going to be a different font because I don't really like it all being brush strike. So we're going to keep this to I think Nexa Light. Nexa Light looks good. Highlight this, and we're going to change the size of this by going to this this one right here, this little kind of like symbol, and we're going to clicking on your left key on your mouse and just dragging it left and right. So alright, we're gonna keep it at like 18. Alright, we should keep it at like, I think 12 looks good, 12.01. So we're gonna change it you know, by change the kind of like lining of this. So this is going to be selected, the text layer is going to be selected, and we're going to do Control T to you know, kind of enable this little dialog box, which kind of says it's a character thing. And yeah, so basically now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the VA section right here, and we're going to just use this and set the tracking for the selected layer as it says right there in the text. So we're going to increase this, so we're going to bump this up to like 1200. So it's basically, we wanted to match up this thumbnail text, so the length of it, sorry. And so right now it was at let's see, it was at 1420. Alright, so let's see. Alright, now it's right here, right? And so we can put this in the middle. So right here, it looks really cool. I don't think the space looks good, actually. I think, yeah, no, yeah, the space looks fine. Now we have this, and it looks pretty aligned, right? And so as you can see, we might want to lock the background because we're not going to do anything with it yet. So to do that, we're going to go to this lock, and as you can see, it locks it right here. There's a lock key that says lock all, and you lock all this, and now it's locked. So we're not going to mess with the background at all. So now we can go to how to make and thumbnail, and we're going to go to thumbnail, and we're going to change the blending options. So we're going to double click on the thumbnail layer, and we're going to go to satin, change that to like the opacity at 15, distance is at 50, and size is at 80. And we're gonna go and add a inner glow. So inner glow is going to be at 65, 0, choke is at 0, size is at 0, and noise is at 0. And I don't really like how it's all you know, white, so I'm gonna change it to red instead. And we're going to just fix, you know, and change whatever you want with the size and all that to just fit what we're trying to do. Now I just pressed enter, and yeah, so if you want to go back to it, we're going to go back to the blending options, and we're going to go to that by double clicking again, thumbnail layer. So we're going to create a drop shadow. So the settings for this is that opacity is at 25, distance is at 0, spread is at 25, size is at 18, and the blend mode is at multiply, and it's at the black. So alright, so it looks pretty cool. I think we might want to change the opacity a little bit. It's a bit too harsh in my opinion. Basically copy and paste this kind of blending options, layer style, to the how to make layer. So right click this and we're going to go to this drop down right here, and it says paste layer style. We paste this layer style. I think we can change the text. You know, like we can add different texts. Epic, and we can put this at long haul. The text, we can change the size of it again by do Control T. Make this more spread out, the text. So we're gonna do Control T, and now we're gonna go to this spacing right here again, and we're gonna just make it like adjust it. So we're gonna put it at like, let's see, 760. 760 looks good. Alright, so now as you can see it's there. Now we can align it again. So I think it should be like, let's see, where should it be? Alright, so this should be over here. Change this to like red. I think this looked good at red. And so we're going to do that. And now what we can do is we're going to go to blending options, and we're going to go to satin and just do the same settings as before, and go to outer glow, and we're going to make this the outer glow at opacity is at 15, noise is at 0, spread is at 0, size is at 29. We can change the size a little bit. In the inner shadow, we can add that. So distance is at 2, choke is at 0, and size is at 0 as well. We can also change the angle of this. Background is just too noticeable. Go to background, and so we're going to unlock this, and we're going to drop down menu right here, and we're just gonna decrease the saturation for this. So we're going to go to hue and saturation. I'm going to do Control U and change the lightness. So lightness is going to be at like, let's see, at like 60, 55. So like, I think right here looks fine. So like, okay, so we can also warp it as well. As you can see, it's red, and it looks really cool. I think I really like it. A whole layer of like the text isn't really aligned, because as you can see, it's more closer to the bottom than the top. So in order to make it you know, more aligned, we're going to go to how to make, and then we're going to select every one of the text. So we're going to go to how to make, and epic, and thumbnail, and this should be all selected. And when that's selected, we can do Control T, and as you can see, everything's selected because everything is selected in the layers. So now we can make this a bit bigger, and this should be in the middle. In order to basically make it really cool, we're going to add another layer, and now we're going to go to the brush tool, and we're going to create a bunch of kind of effects to it. So as you can see, it's at white right now, and we're going to do that, and we should be creating a bunch of dots wherever it is. And now we can set this blend mode to overlay, and so as you can see, it's like that. You can see it's a lot more brighter. Have a little like rim light to the text. So in order to do that, we're going to have a we're gonna have it on the how to make layer. So to do that, we're going to hold Control and press on this box right here in order to select this layer right here. As you can see, it is you know, selected. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to create a rim light, as I said, and we're going to go to the brush tool. But before that, we're going to create a new layer, and then we're going to go to the brush tool. Now, so it should be on the brush tool, and now we're going to just make the size at like 36, and we're going to make it at, you know, the foreground color red. And so we're just going to make a little like light kind of right there. Looks really cool now. It's kind of added like a rim light to the text of how to make. On the bottom, it looks really weird because of all the negative space. Add another like backing. So I think I really like this tech background right here. This tech stock. Now it looks like it's kind of in the middle. So we're going to erase this because we don't really want this part, you know, the saturation of it. So we're going to go to colorize, and then it should be at 66 for the saturation. We're just gonna be doing this, and we're gonna copy and paste it, so like right here. Alright, so right there, and then we're gonna erase this part because we don't really want this right here. We just want the end of this, and then we're gonna duplicate this, and we're just gonna flip it horizontally so we can have a reflection of it. Shadow to the epic layer, to the epic text, so we can put it behind the epic you know, layer. And we're going to do that. And so yeah, alright, so we're going to go to our brush tool again, and we're going to go to the black instead of white, and that should be selected, and we're going to make our brush bigger, and we're just going to create a little kind of like shadow to it, because it looks a bit kind of in the background. It's kind of blended in with the background. So we're going to lower down this opacity right here. We're going to make this 3D by basically duplicating layers. So what we're going to do to that is we're going to duplicate this layer, the thumbnail copy, to the original layer, because it's going to be behind this thumbnail. We're going to go to blending options. We're going to change the color overlay to red, and it's going to be at this red right here. So this one, the hex code is 790404. It's going to be on this red, and we're going to add a outer glow, which is going to be red again. Arrow keys, and we're going to move the text, the bottom text, which is going to be the thumbnail text, that we add 3D text. So right here. So I'm going to just change this a little bit. So first of all, I'm going to make this to thumbnails instead of thumbnail. I really like how it looks. It's kind of like, you know, a really nice vibe to it. One thing I would add to this would be a color correction. So in order to make a color correction, first we gotta kind of group this all together. So we went to the first layer, and now we're going to click shift. We're going to hold shift on our keyboard, and we're going to go to the last layer, which is going to be layer 3, and that should all be selected. And now we're going to do control, add a new adjustment layer. And so what we're going to do that to is right here. So we're going to go to layer and go to brightness and contrast, and we're just going to press OK. And then right here we're going to adjust the brightness, so like contrast a bit, like up to like, let's see, 70 looks good. Again, what we can do is we can add another layer and go to new adjustment layer, and we're gonna go to curve. So we can change the kind of like the light sources of this, and so we're just going to kind of like make this in this shape. We can mess with all these little different points to make it brighter or lighter. The brightness and contrast is up. So yeah, that's basically the thumbnail, and it looks really cool, and I think I really like it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later in the next video. And please do leave a like, comment, and break that subscribe button for more awesome content like this. Just punch it in the face right there, and follow my social media and all that stuff in the description below. I'll also leave the Unsplash photo that I got from this, and these the pack that I used, and everything like that in the description below as well. So yeah guys, that's all for today, and peace out.